Decisions rarely ask for permission. They cross the room like a sudden gust that unlatches windows, ruffles curtains, and reveals the dust you pretended not to see. Today, Gemini, life summons you to an invisible court of language, where the evidence is archived in unsent messages, the voice notes you saved as drafts, and the silences that spoke louder than any speech. The witnesses are your lungs that learned restraint, your restless hands that ached to sketch the next chapter, your eyes that collected context like starlight. The verdict is a truth you delayed because you wanted to be fair even when no one else was. It's time to reorder your bonds through clarity. Whoever twisted your name may soon meet the mirror of life, not because you crave vengeance, but because Mercury, courier of messages and pivots, returns every word to its rightful owner. You are not the shout. You are the text. You are not the spectacle. You are the message. And every true message is a small altar lit in secret, where you ask Mercury for clean dialogue, for memory aligned with justice, for noise to become translation, for promises to return as real commitment. Gemini did not arrive on Earth to play a one-person monologue. You came to learn the duet of mind and heart. You already know. A conversation that heals is a two-way road, oxygen for both sides. When the world mistakes your lightness for carelessness, your questioning for unreliability, your speed for superficiality, an immaculate archive breathes inside you. Dates, nuances, timelines, the subtle weather behind each decision. You carried cancelled plans and messages that never received the respect of a reply. You carried stories frozen mid-page, heavy like books left open in a storm. You swallowed words to keep the house from catching fire and wrote down what could have become a tempest. And still, when injustice knocked, you double-checked whether your own emotion had tinted the lens. Gemini doesn't chase spotlight. Gemini chases meaning. Your restraint has never been surrender. It has been a signal, an inner traffic light orchestrating the flow until the exact sentence emerges. You add everything up. You register everything. When the tide rises, you don't scream. You change frequency. If these lines find you at the right minute, breathe with me. And if this path of consciousness feels like home, subscribe to Astro Gemini now so the next messages reach you precisely when you need them most. Let this be an oath you make to yourself, to transform pain into language of healing, intuition into a map, spirituality into a daily craft. Maybe that person, situation, or institution that mishandled your name is about to face their own reflection. Life always returns what was said and what was withheld. There may be tears elsewhere, tears on courthouse steps at noon, or in private midnight rooms where conscience finally speaks. Don't mistake those tears for your victory. Your victory is different. It is sleeping peacefully, knowing you didn't stab anyone with glowing iron phrases. You simply placed commas where others tried to force full stops. True restoration is not housed in someone's shame, but in the realignment of your soul with what is yours by birthright. Respect, authorship, a clearly marked place of voice. There is a decision asking to be born, urgent, clean, objective. Put in writing what you want from here forward. Say no to anyone who distorts your message. Close dialogues that feed on your mental exhaustion. Reposition your presence online, in relationships, at work. Justice may unfold in external procedures, papers, terms, deadlines, but it also unfolds inside your chest, where air enters and leaves to remind you that life is made of dialogue. In both arenas, the same law prevails: truth, consequence, repair. Mercury, your ruler, does not humiliate. Mercury educates. He brings news and awareness into proximity, shows the delay of misunderstanding, and offers the shortcut of honesty. Your pain asks to be heard. Now your dignity asks to speak. There are two courts from which no one escapes: conscience and destiny. In the first, you meet your gaze and ask, was I loyal to my voice? In the second, life rearranges contacts, returns answers, opens doors once closed by ancient misreadings. You don't have to choose between them. Walk straight and both will give the same sentence. It is fair that Gemini receive back what Gemini invested: time. Bridges, patient translations of the unsayable, careful explanations no one else took the time to make. Sometimes justice arrives as public recognition. Other times it comes as the sacred right to vanish, your absence teaching more than any lecture. Whoever betrayed, diluted, or exploited your words will learn, because life teaches better than rhetoric. The sky invites a new pact with your own name. Sky isn't escape for you. It's a woven net of meanings. Light your candle. On paper, name what must leave your field. Hook conversations, hostage dialogues, promises that never matured. Call back what is yours, authorship, lightness, humor that heals. Ask protection of your guardian spirit. Ask for emotional intelligence and crystalline mind. Spirituality doesn't exempt you from action. It gives you a map. And the map shows a bright curve. You can no longer delay the sentence you know is correct. Share something in the comments with presence. As someone who signs a vow with themselves, write your date of birth and your zodiac sign. Place your fingerprint on the timeline so your lineage hears you. And so I, from here at Gemini, can hear you too. This simple sharing generates a field of truth between us and lights a beacon for those who arrive later. As you write, declare to the universe, I, born on this day under the column of Gemini, or with Gemini strong in my chart, choose the honesty that frees. And life answers. Words spoken with heart become decree. Those who try to move worlds with rumor collapse under their own noise, not you. You lift invisible scaffolding, reading habits, care for the mind, ethics when speaking of others, lucidity when speaking of yourself. Your nourishment won't be the tears of those who hurt your story. Your nourishment will be the quiet relief of not betraying yourself in conversation. Everything shifts, posture, breathing, sleep, relationships, when your inner spine aligns and choices turn obvious. You stop asking permission to exist and start existing with the dignity you always deserved. Afraid of becoming too hard? Remember, hardness without tenderness is mute stone. Tenderness without boundary is mud that swallows. Mercury teaches you the street with a garden, clarity that embraces, humor that organizes, intelligence that lets things bloom. Whoever says you've turned cold has not understood. You've turned precise, and precision stings those who profited from your fog. If this clarity is helping you, go ahead and like this video now. It signals the algorithm, yes, but more importantly, it whispers to your own heart. I support the choices that support me. Let this small gesture strengthen our lighthouse and carry this message to those still trapped in harmful exchanges. Decisions either knot the past or free the future. The urgent choice is freedom. There will be people who weep because of you, whether in the margins of their conscience or beneath human laws. Don't carry guilt that isn't yours. Carry the commitment to stop repeating concessions that fractured you. Justice for you is not a sword pointed at anyone. It is the right frame where your life and your voice finally fit. Before you act, breathe. Place your hand on your chest and say your full name as if signing something sacred. I authorize myself to tell the truth with kindness. I authorize myself to protect my peace with clear boundaries. If you need help, ask. If you need a professional, seek one. If you need a frank talk, schedule it. If it's time to leave, leave without speeches of self-accusation. If it's time to stay, let it be with new agreements and new limits. Respect renewed, listening made real, including your own listening. Whatever arrives at odds with your peace, return to sender with blessing. I return what is yours and keep what is mine. There is a simple ritual for Gemini on decisive days. Upon waking, place your feet on the ground. Gratitude for breath, for place. Drink a glass of water as if sealing a pact of mental clarity. List 3 practical, communicable actions for today. 1 conversation that must be said, 1 silence that must be honored, 1 text that must be born. Complete those 3 promises before sunset. At night, write what the day taught you. 1 lie you no longer need, 1 truth you can finally carry without trembling. If fear visits, speak to it like a smart child. I understand why you're here, but I can cross the bridge. Fear respects those who walk even while shaking. Tomorrow, When others look at you differently because you finally took your stance, don't apologize for stepping out of the role of translator for other people's conflicts. Your calling is not to buffer everyone else's noise. Your calling is to be a bridge where meaning is possible and a border guard where it isn't. Yes, some will cry, not only with sorrow but with the shock of harvesting the words they once tossed into the wind. It is not your job to wipe those tears. Your job is to continue with compassion and firmness without returning to the old script. Life, a patient teacher, leads each person to the lesson that belongs to them. In the perfect hour, a discreet blessing follows those who choose themselves without harming anyone. Doors open, messages land, gentle invitations appear. The right people step off the train at the right stations. You do not need noise to be noticed. You need truth to become inevitable. And you are Gemini. You don't beg for a stage. You create conversation that transforms. When the dust settles, the memory won't be of battle. It will be the architecture of your courage. A cleaner feed, a schedule with intervals, a heart that breathes like an open window. Whoever hurt you will eventually understand that you are not to be trifled with, not because you raise your voice, but because you reorder the room when someone tries to scatter your meaning. Now it's time to tend to the material. Body, sleep, food, calendar, documents, and especially the hygiene of stimuli. Spirituality without matter is a bird without perch. Mind without routine is a radio off frequency. Review contracts, emails, promises. Reorganize what is yours. Return what is not. The urgent decision asks for a plan. Dates, steps, pacing. Planning is prayer in motion. Intuition points north. Discipline builds the road. And if your heart grows heavy, remember, it isn't hardness. It is dignity. Whoever confuses the two isn't seeing you, and that's okay. What matters is that you see you. I see you from here, clearer, airier, freer than ever. Tears that aren't yours will find their own channels. You will follow with clean eyes, and the world will sense that something changed. Your phrases gain specific gravity. Your presence carries a gentle density that steadies the room. Destiny will lead you to new conversations, new signatures, mature affections. There are no fireworks, there is a lighthouse. And the lighthouse you lit today will guide your family and your circle. Your decision clears trails for those who come behind. Mercury smiles as if to say, the message has been delivered. Perhaps what still stings is the echo of phrases that diminished you. You change your mind too much. You don't know what you want. You talk too much. You always disappear. You breathe. In you, changing your mind is a sign of life. Oxygen entering hypotheses. Knowing what you want grows from honest dialogue with your own contradictions. If you once spoke too much, you learn cadence. If you once vanished, you learn to explain. Because now there's a center within that no longer negotiates. It says, I can be two without being half. Your duality is not defect, it is continent. It houses laugh and lament, the doubt that protects and the certainty that guides, the quick phrase and the respectful pause. You understand every word is a talisman. Spoken without soul, it becomes static. Spoken with presence, it becomes a doorway. So yes, someone may cry because of you, not from a punishment you imposed, but from a truth that finally found a threshold. Life educates with elegance. Sometimes it places us before the exact mirror. Sometimes it gives us a page that should have been read long ago. What matters is that on your side, the harvest is done with calm, love, and boundary. You pull back nets cast into emptiness, retrieve crooked versions of your story, and choose, patiently, which conversations deserve spring and which you return to winter. Time is not your enemy. Time is your editor. If you tremble for a moment, write by hand. I authorize myself to inhabit conversations that feed me. I authorize the completion of chapters without thunder. I authorize my rebirth in listening and in language. Repeat the ritual. Feet on ground, cleansing water, 3 actions before sunset, 1 learning at night. Repeat for 7 days. Watch how air enters more gently, how lungs smile, how thoughts line up instead of stampede. Watch hands, Mercury's instruments, find the beautiful gesture. setting a cup down carefully, responding to an email with grace, closing one door softly, opening another with courage. And remember, if the path resonates, like this video, so the message reaches who needs it, and so you remind yourself tomorrow of the vow made today. The universe has a soft spot for those who choose truth with tenderness. You do not need to convince anyone. You need to live. You do not need to prove. You need to practice. When the twins align, life opens blue roads, and each signpost carries a loving caution. Speak sincerely, breathe deeply, walk lightly. In the end, the legacy won't be the memory of conflict. It will be the architecture your quiet hands built. Relationships that become landscapes, work that turns into language, routines that protect, play that heals, pauses that bless. And if someone asks who helped you, you will answer, I helped myself, guided by a sky that speaks softly and by a community that reminds me how to come home when I'm lost. That is what we cultivate at Gemini, a place where the soul hears itself and the world learns to listen to you too. If you felt seen, subscribe to Gemini near this horizon of the script, so that every next crossing finds you ready, attentive, and cared for. Leave your date of birth and zodiac sign in the comments to open the synchronicity field for new answers to reach you in the right hour. Your word is a bridge. Your listening is shelter. Your curiosity is a lamp that stays lit before life. Keep attending to the basics with reverence. Organize your calendar with margins of air. Keep the water by your side. Reduce the noise you allow into your sanctuary. Review the agreements, update the boundaries, re-sign the contract with your own center. Planning remains prayer in motion. Intuition keeps pointing north. Discipline keeps paving the road, and when the next gust crosses the room, you will not flee from the dust that rises. You will open the window wider. You'll let the wind move through, fresh, intelligent, faithful to the meaning you now protect. Words will find their rightful place. Pauses will hold their sacred silence. Your presence will be unmistakable even when you speak softly. Because you are Gemini, bearer of corridors for messages that matter. The world changes not by your shout, but by the way you align the commas. Escort the truth and replace rumor with light. If this journey has supported you, subscribe to Gemini and walk with me through the next sky messages. And if this message cleared a path inside you, like this video, so our lighthouse shines farther and your own heart repeats, I choose to nurture what nurtures me. In the comments, share your birth date and zodiac sign so we can read you with care and widen the field of synchronicities for you and for those who will arrive after you. Breathe. Name yourself with tenderness. Return whatever isn't yours. Claim what is. Let Mercury smile because the message has been safely delivered to you, through you, and beyond you. If you want to hear everything the universe has to say to you, watch these other videos on our channel.